out of the night and into your home. Pop culture, movies, comics, figures, and more. Jeremy, Nate, Scott, Leo, and Larry. The STS Guys Podcast. The STS Guys Podcast. The STS Guys Podcast. It's happening now. The STS Guys Podcast is live and happening now with your hosts, Jeremy, Nate, Scott, Leo, and Larry. Take it away.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 27 of the STS Guys. I am Jeremy.
Hey, it's Larry.
Hey, guys, it's Nate.
And as usual, I'm Scott.
Scott.
Sometimes Chris.
Sometimes Chris.
Sometimes Chris.
Sometimes Chris.
It depends on where I'm at in this. So,
It depends.
Once we get down to here, I think you become Chris.
Yeah.
The second one, you
right.
become, Ronaldo or something.
Yeah.
Ronaldo.
I want to be Esteban.
The guitarist?
Yeah, just Esteban. There's no other name to it. That's it.
I like you as Chris.
Yeah.
Casual,
Chris.
what's up, man? First.
What's up, Casual?
Casual.
Hey, Lindsay.
Hi, Lindsay. Hey, Count Von Strange.
Count Van Strange. What's up? Oh, so I was listening to the audio version of our podcast after the fact, and I realized that we don't acknowledge that we record this live on YouTube. So if you are listening on SoundCloud or iTunes or something like that, you can see the video version of this live recorded podcast on YouTube, on our YouTube channel. And that people we're talking to are live in the chat right now. Like everybody we just mentioned, and Tayron Neal. What is up?
What's up, dude?
Hey, what's up, Tayron?
Tayron.
Sorry.
Tehran.
Sorry, Tehran. What's going on, dude?
Jake Quellen.
Jake Quellen. Aaron.
Bothie.
So episode 27?
27.
Moving on
Nice.
to 27. So the scenes. So this week, man, it's been an interesting week. And I think the most interesting thing capped off today. Larry, do you want to talk about what happened today?
What happened today? Is it live stream related?
It was live stream related.
Yes.
It's pretty epic.
So, this afternoon at 2 p.m. Pacific, Funko decided to do a live stream event on Twitch. They're mostly going to play Cuphead, right? So we logged in right at 2 o'clock, jumped into the chat. We were just going to hang out, right? Like, we enjoy watching live streams. We've done a couple gaming live streams, specifically this past week. We totally upped our gaming live stream activity. So we logged in to watch Sully, Yoko, Cameron, and Hillary play some Cuphead. But then they ended up doing some giveaways. And guess who won the first giveaway? The STS guys totally won a Cuphead prize pack giveaway. I think 6 Funko Pops, all from Cuphead.
Yeah,
Yep. Pretty awesome.
6 Cupheads, all from Cuphead. So that was epic.
Is it the full set, right? Or is there any that we're missing from it?
So I didn't exactly hear the checklist, but it sounded like it was the full set. So
Yeah, I think it's like Cuphead, Mugman, that Flower Boss, the Devil, and then one other one.
yeah, I think you're right.
Now, people in the chat, like I said, have any of you guys played Cuphead at all? Like I said, throw it in the chat. Just because, like I said, there's I don't know about you guys, so about the rest of the STS guys. I'm like, I've played it once before. I'm like, in terms of a graphically amazing game, it looks like you're playing like a 1950s 60s cartoon.
Yeah,
Watching that stream made me really want to play it just for the style, really alone. And it seems like an old school game. It looks pretty hard from what I was watching, but it looks like a lot of fun too.
Yeah. They say it's the side-scrolling version of Dark Souls, if you really want to know, in terms of like difficulty spike.
Yeah. I saw somebody in the chat say that too.
Yeah.
I've never played it, but in typical Funko fashion, they occasionally get me to try new things. So I haven't done it yet, but I will definitely be downloading that maybe when the pops show up.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, and it's funny that you say that it's like Dark Souls, Scott, because when you watch it, it makes sense because part of Dark Souls is like you die to learn how to beat the level, and they were dying a lot to kind of learn what worked and what didn't.
Right.
They were dying so much on that flower level.
They were.
Took
I
them
think it was like
forever to beat it.
yeah,
Well, it's like-
Crazy.
Well, it's like you get what I think 3 hits originally. I didn't play very much. Like Jeremy, I think I played like maybe 5 minutes of it. We get like 3 hits and you're dead.
Yeah.
So you have to be very like calculated in what you do, or else you're dead and you have to start all over. There's no like checkpoints or anything like that.
yeah.
Hi, Ian.
Boxing, he says,
Hey, Ian.
congrats on winning. The only thing I win is parking tickets.
You and me both.
I've only won a parking ticket once.
Hopefully not too frequently, casual.
Yeah, casual. Mine aren't parking tickets because we don't really have a lot of parking issues here. Mine are speeding tickets.
Exactly.
I win those.
My one ticket's a speeding ticket.
I win those like once a year.
Or maybe an illegal U-turn ticket. I had one of those.
I know exactly where that happened, Nate.
Yeah, I think you all do.
All right. So, also some other interesting things that happened today. We've had the Infinity War trailer drop.
The new one.
So I know that we're a podcast divided. We have 2 of the STS guys that, you know what, the very first thing they want to do is check out that trailer. We have 2 of the other STS guys that I don't want to watch the trailer because I said I don't want anything spoiled. So me and Scott are on the, hey, I want to see what's going on just because, like I said, I've waited 10 years for this shit.
Yeah, no, seriously.
I want to see what's going on.
Yeah.
We have Nate and Larry on the other side. Like, I don't want anything spoiled because I watched the Homecoming trailer and it spoiled everything for me.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah, I mean,
exactly.
right. I don't want to be spoiled by it, even though I'm super excited and it's really hard for me not to pull it up and watch it. Homecoming kind of killed me because there was nothing that surprised me because I watched so many of the trailers going into it. I want to be surprised.
Yeah. Teron, I knew you would. Like you're right there with Jeremy and I. Watching those trailers when they pop up. I'm very happy with the Infinity War trailers because they're just spoiling little bits of things, unlike the Spider-Man trailer, like where, you know, everything was shown. At least this one, you have little bits and pieces of things happening to characters, but it's not really showing anything like super great that you would know like what is happening when. Does anybody like happen to anybody? Like what is going on? It's not that. It's just little quick snippets of video that you're like, oh, that's cool. There's Stephen Strange, and you know, this guy meets this guy. Cool.
All I remember is screaming.
No, and you don't even want to know who it is. That's what it is. I think Nate and I understand your point. I honestly, from your Homecoming argument, I know exactly where you're coming from. Just because I honestly felt the trailer for all the trailers for Homecoming, they did spoil a lot. There's a lot left on it. I think the difference with Infinity War is I think there's gonna be so much stuff that happens in this movie where they're only showing basically like certain highlights and things like that, where I don't think they're gonna give too much of it away, just because I think they've learned from other trailers. I think they're showing enough to get people hyped about it, but I think there's going to be a ton of different bombshells. Like one of the things that I was reading, honestly, before we even started the podcast today, was did you notice throughout the entire so on the Infinity War poster, in the credits and everything else, did you notice there's no Jeremy Renner? There's no Hawkeye. There's no Hawkeye anywhere on the poster. He's not credited on the poster.
Yep.
He wasn't shown any place in the trailer. No place.
Oh, I think there's a good reason for that, which we sort of talked about. I don't know if we want to start the discussion yet, but we can, about who he could potentially become because of some of the set photos that were released.
Yeah, there is some hints of that. But I think before that, Nate, do you have some pieces of paper maybe that we should go over? Because there was the...
Yeah, so speaking of Infinity War, I asked the guys, because I think, you know, kind of like Jeremy said, this is going to be a pivotal movie for the Marvel Universe. You know, they've been building up to it. Because of that, I think somebody important is going to die in this movie, one of the main heroes. So I asked the guys to not only think of somebody they think would win, but write it down so that I knew it didn't change between the morning to when we talk now. So I mean, we can go through those if you guys want. Jeremy, if you want to do yours first, or I can do mine.
Well, Nate, why don't you read them off? Because I wrote my name on mine. So why don't you? So that way there's no shenanigans.
Yeah.
Because I'm worried about shenanigans going on.
Oh,
So-
and before you go here, Turan, yeah, Ronin, 100% is what we were talking about. We don't have the image to pull up, but based on the set photos, yeah, his costume, it's the boots. It's those boots with the red chevrons on.
It's like a green and gold. So just going into that, I'll read mine first.
All
So I think Hawkeye is going to die. And it's because of what I learned about Ronin. And if you read a little bit about Ronin, because I didn't know much about him, but immediately when I saw that photo, I started reading some, and he dies and then gets resurrected and becomes Ronin. And he goes kind of bad because he has lost touch with humanity. So I think if they're going to show set photos like that, he's probably going to turn into Ronin.
Okay.
And he might die.
So, do you think Ronin is going to be on the side of the heroes or the side of the villains?
I think because he is Ronin, from what I understand, he's not necessarily a good guy. So I think the villains that Thanos is bringing with him might turn Hawkeye to Ronin and make him bad.
So he gets the short end of the stick again in becoming the brainwashed bad guy.
So basically, Avengers 1, brainwashed bad guy. Avengers 3.
Instead of being brainwashed, he might actually fully turn. Like he's not going to come back as Hawkeye. I think he might go full bad.
Full bad?
Yeah.
Full bad.
You guys want me to read yours or you don't want to do them yourselves?
Okay, read mine. So read mine and then...
So Jeremy has 2, Captain America and the same as me, Hawkeye.
Dude, okay, wait. Before we talk about anything for it, read mine.
Did you pick the same one, Scott?
Dude, I picked the same ones as you.
Scott, Captain America.
We said we did not talk.
We did not talk about this, but I said most likely Captain America, but I'm throwing a Hawkeye in there as a good potential secondary that could have happened.
Wait, before you talk anymore, read mine.
All right, Larry.
Oh, Larry, come on.
Please.
Oh, Larry throwing a curveball here. Scarlet Witch.
I just wanted to choose somebody who I knew no one else would choose. So thank you, Scarlet Witch.
Typical Larry.
There you go.
Oh.
We didn't say hi to Comics with Bueller. Hello, man. Thanks for joining.
Okay. So anybody in the comics section, if you have an idea of if somebody that you think is probably going to bite the big one in Avengers, throw it in the comments. Let's
Everyone should. Well, that and some different reasons why. So if it's Iron Man, or Cap, or why, what specifically makes you think that?
So Turan, you have Vision on there as one of yours, and Jeremy just mentioned it. See, I know Vision, he's gonna get that gem pulled out of his forehead, but I don't know if it's gonna actually kill him because you see Paul Bettany on set without any of the makeup. I wonder if that's gonna change him human, or if they're gonna have to put him in a different body or something like that. That's a different one. I don't think he's gonna die, but I think he's gonna get royally messed up.
I'm right there with you, Scott. I think it's going to make him mortal. It's going to take away everything from him except for the fact that he's alive.
Is he still Vision though? If he's just a guy?
Dude? Yeah, I guess that's his name. He can go back to being Jarvis.
Well, I honestly think he'll become AI intelligence again. So they'll save him. I think Tony will save him by basically. I think there'll be some downloaded into his suit, and basically he becomes Jarvis, part of the AI suit again.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how he's saved. I honestly, as far as being an actual person, I don't think he's actually going to be an actual person.
Yep.
Yeah,
so
he won't be worth a shit. Yeah, no, you're right.
Right. So maybe kill him off.
Yeah. He's basically done, but I don't think he's going to be dead.
So a couple guys in the chat and Scott and Jeremy both guessed Cap. So somebody take the lead on why you think Cap.
It kind of fits the storyline. He should have died at the end of Civil War. So my big thing though is there's that broken shield scene from the Age of Ultron, right? Where Captain America's shield's all messed up. Tony has that vision and it looks like everyone's all knocking down. I I think that shield is foreshadowing that Cap is gonna die, and we all thought it was gonna be in Civil War, and the Russo brothers like messed with us. So I think it's gonna be in the end of this one, and it's gonna be like one of the last scenes. Like it's gonna be the end of the movie is gonna end with Captain America getting killed.
So you're talking about that scene where Iron Man kind of imagines everybody, like all the Avengers are dead, and you see Captain America's shield cracked in half.
Yeah,
There's actually there's a statue that's like that. I said if the statue wasn't like $2,000, I want that statue so bad.
It's
it
a cool
has,
scene.
like, all the hero. I think it's a bone statue where it has like all the heroes like basically up this mountain and then Thanos at the top. Alex Comic Quarter said, you assume they're going to kill someone big, and I think they need to do it fast to show how awesome Thanos is. They're going to kill Wanda and rip out Vision Stone. I honestly, I think they're gonna. I think the Vision scene happens right away. Or like I said, I think you're right, Alex. Like I think they need to show. You know what? This isn't just any ordinary villain where it's just there's that build up, and then the fights. I literally think right off the bat, you kill a couple major characters, and then the entire rest of the movie is them trying to basically band together to figure out what they're going to do to stop him.
Yeah, I think you're right on the money. So, Drew, hello, Drew. Thanks for joining. And I think we all want a statue of Larry on the couch, don't we? I mean, I would buy it.
As long as it's a black and white with the purple couch.
So would that be the home run package on Patreon?
Yes, that would be.
That's top level.
So here's the other thing too that I wanted to come up with or start to think about is, does Thanos even show up at the beginning of the movie? Because I mean, you have the Black Hand, right, that is showing up first, and they're the ones that it seems like are going to be doing the majority of the fighting. So are they going to struggle with that and then have Thanos show up and just wail on them without, any resistance or anything? Like, I that's what I think is going to happen.
I think with Black Hand comes Thanos. I just think Thanos isn't getting involved at first, and then might just show his might when he sees that maybe the Black Hand's having a tough time. Who knows?
No, and here's the thing. So I think if you pay attention, I think the key to basically what's going to happen in this movie is honestly what they have shown in the trailers of what stones that he automatically has right off the bat. So he has the Reality Stone, right?
So for sure he has Space Stone because it's that light blue. So he has the Tesseract, and we see that scene where it looks like there's a bunch of like dead Asgardians on the ground, and Loki's like giving the Tesseract to Thanos or to somebody. Mm-hmm. So I wonder if that's the beginning scene where he's just goes apeshit basically and shows the power, because if he can beat the crap out of a ton of Asgardians, there's not many other people that would be able to stand up to him. So I think that kind of shows the power, because it looks like he has the Power Stone and the Space Stone for sure.
And the at least Power Stone, was that in Guardians? Is that the purple one?
That is in Guardians, and that's the one that's on with the Nova Corps.
Yeah, okay. Nova Corps has the Power Stone. So Drew asked a question and said, "Is anyone really a person, or is it all fake?" We're gonna table that conversation just for a minute, just because me and Scott
we have a theory.
We have a theory.
And Drew, you're gonna like this because it does kind of lead into what you brought up.
Yeah, it leads into exactly what you brought up. So I said we'll get to that question here in just a little bit, or you get to that comment. So I honestly think kind of Alex is right there. I think it's got to lead off. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think it's going to lead off with a major death right away?
Like I said, I don't think it's going to be a death. I think it's going to be the first scene, the opening scene, is going to pick up right where Ragnarok left off, where it's just Thanos showing up to the ship to get the Tesseract.
I think it's going to close with a major death.
Yeah,
because it's going to
Alex. You know where I'm going, Alex. Like I said, that's kind of like a conversation that we want to have. I honestly think that storyline. I said, do you guys have anything else to offer regarding
who's going to die? No, I think we've kind of beat that one to death. I just think it's very comical that we all pick the same people without talking with each other, and without all of us seeing the new trailer before we wrote down our picks. Or at least I think you, Jeremy, you had maybe watched it, but most of us had not seen that trailer before.
I forgot it dropped, and then I saw an employee that was behind me that said they were watching it, and I'm like, okay, I gotta watch it now.
Yep. I was standing up at work, and someone was watching the trailer, and I'm like, hey, Infinity War trailer. And me and Nate instantly decided we didn't want to watch it. I kind of watched it on his computer screen, so I've seen the visuals, but I haven't heard the audio.
There you go.
So Ian Doge from iandoge.com says it's not the last movie. So what do you guys think is going to happen in the next movie?
So I think that leads into kind of what Alex is basically saying. Hey, I hope we're not going to talk about this, but this is what we're going to talk about. I honestly think Secret Invasion is that storyline. I think that's going to be the next phase.
Yeah. It makes a lot of sense.
And the reason I think that is, I think because it's because you have the Captain Marvel movie taking place back in the 90s. I said they've already kind of confirmed the Skrulls are kind of going to be an influential kind of thing in that movie. And then, so someone screen clipped out of the trailer, basically a scene of Captain America's eyes. I don't know if you guys have seen that. I don't know if you've seen that floating around yet. I showed Scott. We were actually on our way back from lunch, and I actually showed Scott. I'm like, hey, Scott, check this out. And then we started having that conversation. Okay, what if Captain America really isn't Captain America? What if he's actually a Skrull? And me and Scott got into this tangent of, hey, what if some of the deaths aren't actually deaths? It's just basically it's the death of a couple Skrulls, and that's the motivation for Thanos wanting to kind of wipe out half the universe. Is so we know in the comics, so in actually the Infinity Gauntlet series, he's basically wants to kill half the universe to impress Mistress Death, because he wants to hook up with Death. I don't think they take that route in the MCU. I think they take it into hey, you know what, the Skrulls basically are kind of what are responsible for the destruction of Planet Titan, and that's kind of the story that they take in regards to looking at, okay, this is his motivation for wanting to destroy things.
Yeah. So going back to our kind of death of Captain America conversation, what I really think or would hope to see happen is he is the death at the end of the movie, right? He dies, Thanos leaves, and they are standing over everything, and the last scene is literally the body of a Skrull and not Captain America, right? And then it just ends with that. Like, doesn't really give any idea why he's this green dude, just with the Thanos chin, but just have a Skrull as the body of Captain America, and then let that lead into the other things. Nate,
you better ask me that question.
Nate, you better choose me. Honestly,
I would definitely choose Scott.
So for anybody who doesn't know, someone wanted to know if Nate would hook up with Death or me if you had to choose. It better be me.
It's definitely Scott.
There you go.
You said someone. It's not just someone.
It's Drew.
It's super mega fan Drew.
It's level 6 supporter of Patreon, Drew.
Yeah. Patreon supporter Drew.
Casual boxing. Have a good night.
Yoshisaur Munch Acopus. 2 cousins. Hello.
Munch of Koopas. It's a Nintendo reference, Nate.
Excuse me.
What up, Yoshi?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I should have just said that.
It's way too long. I just call him Yoshi. That he joined my what live stream did I do? Splatoon 2 live stream last Friday, 1 week from today. If you haven't watched that video, go check it out. 90 minutes of me playing Splatoon 2 for the first time.
Because of that live stream, we a couple of the guys picked up the game.
Yes, that is definitely true. So okay, back to the Skrull conversation.
Yeah.
So Nate, I know we were passionately talking about it before, in regards to why you don't agree with why it should be a Skrull, what the next phase should be in regards to it being actually Skrulls. Explain. I want you to explain your kind of your ideas and thoughts first. Then me and Scott will jump in.
So it's mainly because it's just too convenient. I mean, if that was so, they've been laying this ground for Thanos for a long time. We've known Thanos was coming. There's been little tiny hints, and you got to see Thanos the most in Guardians of the Galaxy. If what you're saying is true, the only lead-in is Captain Marvel, and that means the whole time some of these characters, which have done really good things, are these Skrulls, because apparently they inherit the total personality of the person that they're mimicking. I don't know much about the Skrulls. I'm just going to admit it now. It just, when you guys were explaining it to me, it just seems like an easy cop-out to continue into a new phase. I don't think it's going to be the next movie. I think the next movie is actually going to be the Infinity Gauntlet and the Avengers trying to take him down. And then it's going to move maybe into another phase. I don't know what that is. It could be Secret Invasion. I just think if they do it that way, I don't know. It's just an easy cop-out, man.
It sounds like an easy cop-out. I get it. But it's going to change the stakes of the whole set of movies. This entire time we think Thanos is this big bad guy. And all along, all these characters could have been somebody else. And with you say the Skrulls, like, oh, they took over everything, and they do all these good things. Yeah, because they have to pretend to be that character, like that person. So they would have to do everything that person would normally do to keep from being discovered, so that they can get their agenda in, which is get everything ready for the main invasion force to show up.
So Nate, it looks like Alex agrees with you. He's like, yes, Nate, easy way to retcon. Yes, I agree. I think basically, the Secret Invasion storyline is literally going to be the Marvel equivalent to Flashpoint, where they can basically hit the reset button, and they can kind of take some new stories and some different beginnings. And I think that's how you can literally transition some of these characters into maybe different actors. You can transition into different people. I think there's a lot of different things that you can do with that. And while, yes, it's an easy way to retcon, I honestly think it's also kind of an interesting thing to do, just because, hey, you have 10 years worth of movies now. And it basically makes you want to now go back and analyze, hey, you know what? Were there little seeds planted here and there in regards to why they did one thing or another? Or like I said, even kind of going forward, like, you're just going to keep you guessing, like, who's a Skrull and who's not a Skrull. It's kind of like Winter Soldier. So it's Winter Soldier, like I said, with the Hydra argument. So you had Hydra infiltrated into Shield, and you didn't know up until that point that they had infiltrated Shield, and it was that flip of trying to figure out who was a Hydra agent and who was a Shield agent. I think if you expand that out over 10 years, it's just more of a crazy kind of mind trip trying to figure out who is a Skrull and who's not a Skrull.
Right.
True. And you kind of bring up an interesting point. Like if they're really gonna make some of these characters that have been watching the movies, and they've been in 2-3 movies, and they're gonna make them into the Skrull, can I trust that any of these characters are who they say they are? At the end of the day, like, hey, maybe Black Widow's a Skrull, maybe Hulk is a Skrull. I don't know. They could all be Skrulls, because then that makes it an easy out for them. Like, hey, we need a new storyline. Okay, now Hulk is a Skrull too. It's like, I don't know. It just doesn't work for me.
Have you read Marvel comics? Like, that's
not as heavily as DC, I'll admit it. Yeah, I have read up until, I read all Infinity Gauntlet. I know all about that. I don't really know the Secret Invasion stuff.
So Nate,
I never said I wasn't a Skrull. So
your homework is to go read Secret Invasion.
Okay.
You can have at least some baseline of what we're talking about. I honestly, if anybody hasn't even read that story, it's a great storyline. One of my favorite storylines of the Marvel universe, because, like I said, it keeps you guessing.
I'll definitely read it. You guys just talking about it makes me want to read it, so I can be better educated to argue you.
So, Tehran, you brought up Nick Fury. That was my other, like, almost guaranteed person that might end up either being a Skrull or having a run-in with them. Because it's really convenient that he dies in Winter Soldier, and then another one like shows up like right after. Was like, oh, I only faked my death. Like, did he, or is that a Skrull that just took his place and just used that as the out to get his way in? Because you wouldn't put it past Fury to be able to fake his own death and everything. So it's one of those things where it's like, is it him, or was that a Skrull imposter? And now there's a Skrull Fury running around somewhere. Or did the Skrull die and the real Fury is there now coming back in?
How long are these Skrulls, like, in the book? How long have they been these characters?
Years.
A lot of them for a while.
Because they're like managing relationships. They have to know like all about their history.
That's literally their invasion tactic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is they is they infiltrate by basically mimicking everything around them, integrating themselves into society, and then basically they have like their buddies that kind of basically take the place of, I said, of the others too. And like I said, they kind of one by one, they kind of like take out key people and key initiatives of basically keeping the status quo, but still taking over these people to basically retain key positions, in power, in politics, and superheroes and things like that. So
and Turan, so my other thing is potentially there's a line, I can't remember which movie it's in, but I think it's Winter Soldier, where Nick Fury talks about how he actually lost his eye, and he said that a long time ago it was somebody that was really close to him, basically betrayed him and messed up his eye. And I'm wondering, is that somebody that's supposed to be like his number 2 person that turned out to be a Skrull? And we're going to find that out in the Captain Marvel movie. And then, as Teron says, they did have that set photo with Sam Jackson in the green makeup. So maybe he was supposed to kill Fury and take over him. And so he had started that transition, but Fury ends up winning or something, right?
Yeah, I mean, from what you guys are telling me, it sounds plausible. I guess it's more of like, I don't want it to go that way.
All right, so okay. So if I want Larry and Nate offer an alternative, where do you want it to go?
I don't think I know enough about Marvel storylines, so I think the whole Skrulls thing sounds possible, but I've only heard about it since about 11 o'clock this morning. So I'm okay with it. Like, I don't know, other main Marvel storylines that I know of, there's only one, right? It's Secret Wars, and it doesn't feel like the right time to do Secret Wars.
So yeah, and I told you guys this earlier. I think Galactus would be a good next step, but you kind of shot me down saying that there's no way we're there yet. X-Men just got acquired. Galactus, I think, maybe is still part of the Fox property, even though everybody knows they're being acquired. It hasn't gone through. Definitely plausible, but they have a lot of time to build it up, because how long did Thanos take?
Yeah, I would love some type of Fantastic Four, X-Men, Fox property thing, but I 100% think it's too soon, and that's more of a, I don't know if they want to call it Phase 5 or like end of Phase 4.
So Larry just said something that I think is really important. Talk about a way to expand the universe, throwing in the X-Men, throwing the Fantastic Four. I mean, you could really expand the universe of these characters.
So there's that aspect of everything that we have this Fantastic Four and everything. That would be great for Galactus, but I don't see that being, you're going to have to reboot all those characters and you're starting over from fresh. Like, I don't think Galactus, I would love to see it, but I don't think that we're going to get that anytime soon, even after the acquisition, because you have to build up all these new characters, because they're not going to go with the rebooted cast of X-Men, and they're gonna be like, oh, these are the X-Men that we had now. Like, they're gonna start with their own fresh characters, and they're gonna vet them and write those storylines.
Well, I think, kind of to Larry's point, I think you could do that with a Secret War storyline. Is you basically bring everyone together. You could literally kill everyone off. Like I said, alternative universes. This Marvel universe or that Marvel universe or this, that, or the other. Bring everyone together. Basically pick and choose who you want to keep, and then throw it back to another phase, and then you can do your Galactus storyline.
And Tehran, you bring up Adam Warlock, who we won't technically see until Guardians 3. Which is weird about that is he doesn't seem to be tied to an Infinity Stone in this universe like he is in the comics. Like, he was physically linked to the Soul Stone in the comics, and it seems like
that's Vision's place now. So they basically Vision almost like
took over
a pseudo Adam Warlock.
Yeah, because Vision in the comics never had an Infinity Stone. He was just like a really awesome robot. But
so Drew posted an interesting question too. Like I said, he asked me basically what's my favorite superhero and why. I said I am probably the biggest fan of Spider-Man. I'm interested to see what he's going to do in this movie. From all the people that have played Spider-Man, I think Tom Holland he's probably played portrayed my favorite Spider-Man out of everybody. Just even in comics, like I said, I've been a Spider-Man fan forever. But I'm interested to see kind of where he's going to take this. So kind of I want to pose that question to you guys too. So what kind of superhero? What's your favorite superhero? Why and what do you want to see from them? Like I said, if they're part of the MCU, if they're not.
So you're not talking about just strictly Marvel.
No, like I said,
you could be your DC folks.
Could be anything.
Okay. Hey Brian, thank you for joining. So actually we got a couple of. So Tehran says Infinity Gauntlet would be a travesty without Adam Warlock.
Yeah,
I agree. I think he needs to be part of the movie. I don't know if that's going to happen.
No,
I don't know. Schizo Quibbit, what do you guys think about us being a simulation? So like Matrix?
Yeah, that kind of gets into a level of like philosophy and like things I don't think we have time to get into in this podcast.
So let's go back to what Jeremy posed. And Drew says, I love me some Spider-Man, but I think he dies in this movie. Interesting. I think Spider-Man's a little bit too new to die, but, they might want to, do a showstopper and kill Spider-Man.
Yeah, because he has another movie coming out, they would better very much explain how he comes to life real quick because he has one of the first movies.
Scroll.
Yeah, Scroll. Little 12-year-old Scroll. So, Nate, favorite superhero?
You guys know who this is. Batman.
Batman.
I want a standalone Batman movie with Deathstroke as the main villain. I think that would be awesome.
All right, so
okay. But here's pose the question: why Batman?
Yeah,
why Batman? I've just ever since I was a kid. I mean, I'm watching Batman the animated series. One of the first comics I ever read was a Batman comic. I collected all the toys. I watched the Batman '89 movie when I was younger, and I just fell in love with it. Batman's just been a part of my life since I was really young. So I've always grown up with that character, and I've learned about him as I've gotten older and gained more and more appreciation. There's nobody that's ever going to top Batman for me. So
good response. Okay, so out of the cinematic Batmans, what one's probably your favorite?
Michael Keaton, no contest.
So why? Because Batman. I still like the Michael Keaton one because he couldn't turn his neck, so he had to do the like when he looked at stuff, like the whole body had to turn. Like I love that Batman.
Yeah, he was just such a classic, and Jack Nicholson as Joker, it makes that movie so memorable. And that's really kind of what lit the fire for me too. That watching that as a kid, I was like, whoa! I didn't know movies like this existed.
Yeah. The cool thing with Michael Keaton is he didn't seem like menacing. Like a lot of the other like Batmans, like if you look at them, they look kind of like they're still like these big bulky guys. So
right,
like they didn't look at. But Michael Keaton, you looked at him like, oh, he's just this like weird millionaire guy, and then like he played that whole two parts of the person really, really well.
He did. He was definitely a better Batman than Bruce Wayne, but I think he was so good at showing us both sides and how they kind of fight with each other. He really wants to be Batman, but he knows he has to have his Bruce Wayne side too.
You want to hook up with Vicky Vale?
Yes. If you're going to hook up with some ladies, you got to have some human touch. Drew, that's really flattering. I guarantee you, I do not have a body like Batman. I wish I did.
But Drew, I think you did want that human touch, right?
Maybe you have a body more like Robin.
With the little shorty shorts. Shorty shorts.
Yeah, 80s Robin.
I mean,
come on.
Thanks, Larry, but I don't think so.
You need those, dude. Please, Nate, show up to work one day in the green underoos, please.
Maybe during Halloween.
Yeah, I will pay you. I will buy the costume and pay you money to show up as Robin from like the old school comics with the little booties and the green underpants. I will pay you for that.
Does that offer stand for anybody?
Yeah, I will buy costumes for everybody.
Jeremy's interested.
You really want to wear the underpants?
We could be like 3 different versions of Robin.
Yeah.
Can I be the weird redheaded girl one?
Okay. Yes, of course. You have to be.
This gives me a really good idea.
You could be Carrie Kelly.
You look the most like her.
Yeah.
We need to coordinate for Halloween.
Yeah, we should.
We should do like a group cosplay thing too at a convention one time. Yes. I've been thinking about that for a while. My first thought was Bob's Burgers, but then I'm not sure who I would be.
I'm Gene.
For some reason, I think I'm Linda. That's why I didn't bring it up.
You're like, oh no, I'm either Linda or Tina. Oh no.
Yeah. No, Nate's Tina. Glasses.
Tina, yeah. Jeremy is definitely Louise. I'm Gene.
But then who's Bob? We need a Bob.
That would be Drew.
That's Drew. Yeah, Drew's gonna be Bob.
That works.
Drew, do you want to be Bob?
You could pull that off.
Yeah.
He could totally pull it off.
I guess I'll do.
What were we talking about?
So I'll go with my pick. I'm kind of torn because they're both Avengers that are kind of on my my thing is I'm very big fans of Thor, the comic book version where it's actually steeped in like the actual like they are actually gods. They're not like just super powerful aliens. And I like you all know I love Captain America. So
Man crush.
yeah.
Yeah.
I love me my blonde boys.
So Schizo, thank you for the suggestions, man. We'll work on those keywords. Hopefully we'll pop up a little bit better for you.
Yeah.
And Drew really loves your teddy bear, Scott.
So what he's talking about is you see the big ass teddy bear here. That's the Costco teddy bear. I bought that for my daughter, and the funny thing about that teddy bear is it is the same height as my wife.
Nice.
Like it is so massive, and she held it up, and it was the same height as her, and it makes me laugh every time she picks it up.
You should do that thing like that girl did in the YouTube video and cut open the back and have your wife get inside and walk around. Did you guys see that?
It's not big enough. I would need. They have. So this is like the $40 one, and then there's like the $150 one. That's the one that's big enough for you to be able to get into. That's like the 6 foot tall one. This one is just like 5'2". And it's not quite big enough. I considered it, and I was like, well, there's no way my fat ass is getting in it, but maybe my wife can. She's about the right height. My daughter probably could fit into it based on her size, but she doesn't listen enough to actually coordinate a good practical joke like that, so I'm not tearing open that damn teddy bear for that.
Well, if you're ever in need of a Halloween costume, you know that was probably going to fit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Denny McGuire's in the stream. What's up, Denny?
What up, Denny? What up, lad?
Denny.
All right, Larry, what about you?
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
So reasons why. Well, so Spider-Man's my all-time favorite, probably. I'll back up Nate. Like if you would have asked me what my favorite superhero was when I was like 10, it would have been Batman. Like I had all the Kenner superpowers figures, and like Batman was my favorite. But I've grown up a little bit since then, and I went with the teenager. I like Spider-Man. I think that Spider-Man animated series during the 90s. I watched that in the X-Men cartoon a lot, but I really like Spider-Man. So he is my choice as my favorite superhero.
Yeah, to be honest, if I had to pick a Marvel favorite, Spider-Man would be it for sure. Strictly because of the animated series.
Yeah,
I watched that so much when I was a kid. And I really loved that show.
Spider-Man. Radioactive spider blood.
Yeah, where they messed up you already had a theme song, but they changed it just for that.
Yeah.
I do have to say, Spider-Man is in my top 5, if not number 3, like in terms of character.
Nate, so you're gonna appreciate this. Honestly, my favorite animated cartoon, was it even beyond Spider-Man, was I love Batman the Animated Series. The original Batman the Animated Series, like I said, it had so many adult tones to it. Like I said, it was like an emotional show. Like literally those episodes, like with like Clayface, like the music in those, and like just like the story, like they were like kind of messed up to show a kid.
Yeah. Well, the best part about that show was that it focused more on the villains, kind of. Like I learned more about individual villains of Batman from that show than anything else. Like I got to learn like villains I didn't even know about, like Clayface. When I was a kid, I had no idea who Clayface was, but those were like 2 of my favorite episodes.
And, you know, it's the same. Like I feel the same way about Batman the animated series, but it's the same way for Spider-Man for me, right? Like I learned about Kraven and Mysterio. Like I vividly remember watching those episodes and seeing those characters. I had never seen Mysterio before, but I'm like, hey, this is pretty awesome. Those are really good teaching tools to get kids into comics, which, you know, as you can see what's happened now, like 20 years later, it's just
raw. Yeah. Now, the scenes, thoughts on Batman Beyond? Awesome.
I like Batman Beyond.
Batman Beyond was great. I think they should do a modern day live action Batman Beyond with Michael Keaton as old man Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
just to come back in and have Terry was Terry McGinnis, right?
Right.
McGinnis is the new Batman.
Drew, I'm going to disagree with you. Batman's one power is that he never gives up.
No,
He's rich.
He says it in the movie.
That too.
Wait.
He's rich.
Wasn't that G.I. Joe that never gave up?
Yeah, that's the real American hero.
I'm pretty sure it's a Batman quote, but yeah, you're right.
I know
You're right.
my
G.I. Joe did never give up.
I know my 80s cartoon theme songs, and G.I. Joe never gave up.
So yeah, Larry's got some cred too because he has a old school G.I. Joe comic. So you know he was into G.I. Joe when he was a kid.
How does my G.I. Joe comic come up on every episode of this podcast?
It's like every other one. It literally is every other one. We've talked about that damn comic that you got signed. So Tehran brings up the next question.
I love that question.
Is a good one. So we talked about our favorite heroes. Who's our favorite villain?
Venom.
So Jeremy says Venom. Why Venom?
I've always been fascinated with the character, and then literally, Todd McFarlane is probably one of my favorite artists of all time. I think since he co-developed that character for Marvel, and that was basically the first iteration of Venom you saw was basically Todd McFarlane drawing Venom. It's like I said, it had me hooked. Plus, like I said, just the kind of the story and kind of like his. Originally I said he was a total bad guy. I'm not even talking about modern Venom, like where he can be a good guy, this, that, and the other. I love Venom as a character. Like I said, honestly, from the comic art perspective, like honestly, Spider-Man number 316, I believe it is. I'm trying to look at my issues over on the wall. 316 is probably literally one of my favorite covers of all time, of just Venom looking over, Spider-Man killing him. If I had to choose a DC villain, Joker. I agree with you, Drew. Joker is, like I said, he's just, there's so many different iterations and takes on him. Like I said, he's never the same, and I think that's why I like him.
Yoshi, Mark Hamill.
What was the question?
Who is your favorite actor that played the Joker? Mark Hamill.
Ooh, yeah. Mark Hamill. Gosh.
Mark Hamill's my favorite character or actor to play Luke Skywalker.
Good. I was gonna say, like,
that's what I was going for.
Yeah, and Larry gets the "Who Could Shut Down All of Us" award for this podcast. Usually it's me. Usually my bad jokes are the one that do it. So Larry, thank you for biting the bullet on that one. My favorite villain is Magneto, man. Like, because you actually kind of feel for him, and he actually has like a logistic, like actual like reason, and you actually can understand like what he's like,
why he hates everybody,
and like, dude lived through like the Holocaust and like went through all that stuff. Like why he's the way he is, and you can actually like look at his point and be like, he's not really wrong. He's just going about it the wrong way.
Yeah, that's a gret villain. Larry, who's your favorite?
Larry.
Oh, me?
Larry. Let's go Larry first.
Larry. I am Larry.
Nate, we know yours.
Well, then I guess you know mine too, because I was going to say the Joker. For a lot of nostalgic 80s Kenner superpowers reasons, same thing. You're right. I think Joker's kind of a stronger villain than a lot of what Marvel's got to offer. So I'm going to go with Joker as my number one comic book villain.
And surprise, surprise. That's mine too.
What? Nate, I did not know.
Yep. I love the Joker. I think Joker's just such a cool villain. Like he doesn't care about anything but the chaos. That's what's cool about him. He doesn't care about money. He doesn't care about power. None of that crap. He's just trying to upset the established order. And he's always been such a great character for Batman, because Batman's, like he uses Batman's like that one rule, no killing. He tries to make Batman choose all the time, and he's, mentally a really good match for Batman.
Literally, that's why I want, just because of the no killing rule, that's literally the reason why I want to see a Flashpoint Batman where Thomas Wayne is Batman.
Yes.
Right. Kills everybody.
And you already have a good character cast as him.
Yeah.
Right? Like the guy that they had for it. I mean, it was the comedian, for God's sakes. I mean, he played that character once, and then you have him come in as Thomas Wayne.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Yeah.
Like you have a good character potentially able to play him, and you have Flashpoint as a possibility. Yeah, I want super murderous Thomas Wayne Batman.
And then you have Martha Wayne Joker.
Yep, that's true.
Yes.
You can do both.
Um,
How often do we stream? I would say we try to do at least once a week
for the
So-
podcast.
for the podcast. We do a lot of other things too. We drop other videos. If you haven't checked us out on YouTube, please check us out. We got lots of awesome content. We go to Comic-Cons, unboxings.
That where you're already checking us out at.
I'm just that's true. Duh.
Click on our other videos.
Yeah.
That was
after the podcast. Click on our other videos.
Oh.
Please click on our other videos.
Chill away, Nate, apparently.
It's
It's not time for
No
the
way.
closing quite yet.
You know,
There's
I was
no way
about
I can
to-
show like Larry, so I'm not
I was
even
about to throw out my social media shout outs.
gonna do it.
Oh, okay. Well, real quick though, real quick. I haven't filmed it yet, but we do have our giveaway items. I'm gonna highlight. Is it okay if I show a few of them now on the stream?
Wait,
Show me your goods,
Wait.
Jeremy.
is this
I've got
going to
one
be
I can show.
is this a super mega giveaway?
It's a super mega Batman prize pack giveaway.
And we're doing spoilers? We should totally do spoilers for everybody
Spoilers.
watching the podcast.
Okay. Spoilers for the podcast. So
Spoiler
if you're
alert.
watching this on the podcast, you're gonna get some spoilers of what's going to be in the giveaway. I'm not gonna show you everything. I'll show you a lot of stuff, but this is, like I said, everything that I'm showing you isn't gonna be everything that's in there. So
You're gonna
Please
show,
show us everything.
I was gonna say you're gonna show a lot of stuff. You're gonna show what we really want to see.
I'm gonna start off with the fun items first. Oh, look, Batman socks. Batman socks.
Ooh.
Nice.
Ooh, socks.
Okay, that's it.
That's not super mega. Super mega socks.
Wait, what kind of socks are those though? Are those Batman socks?
I'm
Batman
pretty sure those are
socks.
Batman socks.
Batman.
So,
Is this a Batman
is this a theme?
super mega Batman prize pack giveaway?
Well, let's wait till the next item. The next item happens to be.
No, it's not going to be
Jeremy-
Batman.
No, Jeremy, you've already said it, so you don't have to play coy. You've said it once already.
Last week.
Trying to be funny. Batman. It's Batman. So,
No, giveaway.
so that's another thing, part of the giveaway.
Wait, show that again because we were all talking and we didn't get to see it that well.
All right, so level. So that's item number 2. But we're not done with pops yet. Let's when we ever do something super mega, like I said, we always have to have a chase. So we have Chase Riddler, part of the giveaway as well. And then you may have seen this on one of our unboxings. So we have the Todd McFarlane Batman. So that'll be part of the giveaway as well. We also have a nice Batman leather band watch.
Nice for the sophisticated comic book fan.
Yeah, it's actually a nice heavy watch. Like,
That's
cool
got a
watch.
good size face to it too.
yeah. So there's that. Try to get without the glare. Then we have 2 mystery minis.
Ooh.
2.
Yep.
Nice.
We have a Batman mug.
Oh,
A glow in the dark.
Glow in the dark Batman mug.
I might have to steal that.
We have
Oh,
salt and pepper.
Ooh.
So a lot of Batman. There can be some more stuff too. I said this is all the stuff that I've gathered so far. There's a few additional items that are going to be part of this giveaway. You'll have to check out the giveaway announcement video for that. But I thought I'd give you guys on the podcast, since you guys are loyal viewers and watchers, a preview of what's going to be happening for our Super Mega Batman Prize Pack giveaway.
Did you say super mega Batman prize pack giveaway?
I think he said super mega Batman prize pack giveaway.
he did say super mega Batman prize pack giveaway.
I'm so excited for our Super Mega Prize Pack Batman Prize Pack giveaway.
You ruined it.
We were on a roll there, Jeremy.
I know, it's like, do you see how big this thing is?
It's one bomber.
This isn't the only one I've had.
Well, you notice that I keep drinking out of the same cup? It's because I keep refilling it on the right side here.
Unfortunately, I've been stuck because of the Sudafed that I've been taking because I've been fighting that sickness. I've been stuck with Gatorade.
Ooh.
Nice.
I wish I had something better, but it's Gatorade.
I'm on Team Sports Drink.
Woo!
Sorry. I'm also only drinking blue-colored beverages today, so I'm on with the blue Gatorade after the blue Kool-Aid we all had at lunch.
So Yoshi wants to ask Larry a question.
Yeah, but he never asked, right?
Ask away, Yoshi.
Yoshi,
Yeah, if you're still there, dude. What do you got?
Tehran, if you're still on here, have a good one, man.
Thanks for joining. Drew,
Yep.
Better yet, level 6 dudes watching the podcast get cool loot, question mark? I
What
heart
do you-
Funko Pops and it's Larry's fault.
What? It's
As I
always
said, it's always
always
Larry's
my
fault.
Totally Larry's
If
fault.
it has something to do with Funko Pops, it's always Larry's fault.
what do you want, Drew?
There's always a chance for cool loot, Drew.
Yeah, what do you want? What do you want, Drew?
Throw it out there.
What do you want? What the
Patreon supporter.
Yeah. Oh, if you guys aren't aware, we're on I can't talk. We are on Patreon. I hate that word. We're on Patreon. You can sign up to be our patron and help support us. There's some really cool tiers, and you can get some great prizes like shout outs on the podcast or some extra like an STS Guys t-shirt. So go check it out. It's patreon.com/STS Guys. There's a link in all of our videos. If you could click on that, it'll help us keep making cool content like this podcast and doing live streams and unboxing and all that fun stuff. So patreon.com/STS Guys.
Nice.
See? Brian, very cool. Super Mega Prize Pack giveaway. Just practicing for Twitter. Yep. Like I said, we will have we're gonna do it through Gleam again. So there will be several entry methods, and I know you're all on top of those daily entries. So
Brian is an expert by this point.
Yes,
Yeah.
Brian is probably. I think if you add all of his entries together, has entered the STS Guys contest probably the most out of everybody.
Brian is due for a super mega win. Like he's
Brian-
won some other stuff, but he's due for that super mega win.
Yeah.
Brian, you're always an awesome guy. Thanks a lot, man. Always been so supportive.
I agree.
And I would say at this point, you're probably the Gleam master.
Yeah, for sure. So Drew, he's already claimed his prize.
Me?
He wants you,
Jeremy, dude.
Aww.
Oh, Yoshi, he wants more of that live stream from you, Larry. And you know what? We might be able to give him a bigger live stream than what we did before because of something I hinted to earlier. If you guys are knowing what I'm talking about.
No one does.
So what did Larry live stream Splatoon 2? I said earlier that a few of the guys have picked it up. Maybe all of us have it now. Almost all of us, except for Scott. He's going to be getting it soon. Anyways, we can do a live stream of Splatoon, maybe with more of the guys.
Yeah, so it'd be Larry, Nate, and myself, and then Scott.
It depends on when we do the stream and when I can get my cheap ass off the couch to go buy that.
All right,
Problem
Scott,
is-
we can always join.
Too many games are coming out that I need to pick up, and I just bought Mario Odyssey. I just got the Switch like a week ago. I have to save up before I can start buying more games.
Dude, you picked the 2 best games. I don't, I can't be mad at you for that.
You better not be. It's your fault I have one for that fucking Mario Kart.
Well, hey, you got an incredible deal, all right?
Yes, I did an incredible deal. Thank you, Nate, for
I'm
extending.
always willing to help you guys out with those games.
Yep.
So I do promise that one day this week, early, right? This week, I will do a Splatoon 2 live stream. If Jeremy and Nate are able to join, awesome. But if it's got to be just me, I will do a Splatoon live stream real soon within the next 3 or 4 days. For sure.
Awesome.
I'm looking forward to that because I have played Splatoon for an all-in of 20 minutes.
Nice.
So I'm looking forward to having everyone own me.
Yep, you are live stream ready. So I know I mentioned this before, but when I did the live stream last week, it was the first time I had ever played Splatoon 2. I guess I'd played Splatoon 1, so I kind of understood the premise. But man, just jump right in. You got 20 minutes in. You're what, like level 2 or 3? You're ready to go. Show the world your Splat skills.
Yeah, I'll be ready for my next Splatfest.
Yeah.
We're all ready for a Splatfest.
Yeah, it was funny. Did you guys catch on the Funko's Twitch live stream? They're talking about Splatoon, and they're talking about Splatfest last weekend. They thought it was quite a comical name as well.
It's the most comical name that I've ever heard.
As an adult, that is probably the worst name you could have chose for an adult. Well, a child in an adult's body. That is me. You cannot call something Splatfest and not have me go like the route that you didn't want it to go.
Well, that's Scott.
That is Scott.
That's Scott.
Whoa, Yoshi's played Splatoon for 350 hours. I'm level 38.
Dang.
That is killer.
That is a lot of hours.
That is a lot of hours, and I have things called responsibilities that do not let me have that much time on games. I wish I could do that.
It takes me so long to get that many hours.
It's a lot of hours.
That is a lot.
It's almost like 10 days.
I don't think I even have that many hours in The Witcher.
So
I'm maybe at 100 in that. And that's probably, I think that and maybe Skyrim are the two games that I have 100 plus hours in. But that's over like a span of years that it's taken me to bank that much time in those games.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever reached the 300 mark. I've had Breath of the Wild since Black Friday, and it's probably the one game I've played the most, and I've got 60 hours in that. So not even close.
I was playing some Rocket League earlier today. I did awful.
Fun.
Yeah, I hadn't played that in a really long time. I was pretty bad, but it was still fun. Maybe I can get back into that or something too.
All right,
I'll play that.
I think we're ready to wrap up the stream for this week, guys. What do you say? You guys have anything else?
No, I think we've talked about what we wanted to. Got that big discussion out of the way.
Larry, chill it out.
Yeah, thank you.
Whoa.
So the majority of the videos we dropped this week were the live streams. I also unboxed some pops that I got from a mail call, so go check out that video. Go ahead and follow us on Instagram at STS Guys. Follow us on Twitter at STS Guys. Check us out on Facebook at The STS Guys. And I am Larry from The STS Guys.
All right. Thank you, Larry, for shilling us away.
Larry, you are the show master.
Dude, you got that down to an art.
Yes.
You really do.
You're like the Shaneco commercial of the STS Guys.
Whoa. So Yoshi has just topped his first 350 hour mark with Splatoon 2. He's got 1,000+ hours in ARMS.
That is
whoa, dude. That's a lot.
No.
I couldn't do it.
If I had a hat, I would take it off to you.
Yeah, like that is impressive. My wife would legitimately murder me if I ever was able to claim a record like that.
I don't think you would have a wife.
No, she'd be gone. Like my wife and child would just disappear one day, and I wouldn't.
If you're putting 1,000 hours, you wouldn't have time to make children.
Yeah,
Olivia wouldn't.
I've already made one. I don't.
Your daughter wouldn't exist.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, Drew, thank you for joining, man. Always appreciate the support. Glad you like the show.
Yes. Thank you, Drew. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Yoshi. Thank you, that guy, Tehran, who I can't pronounce his name correctly. Thanks to everybody. Thanks to everybody else who joined. You guys are awesome. You make these live streams fun. This is our fourth one we've done.
Yeah.
Now, live on YouTube. So, yeah, thank you, guys. It's been awesome. I hope you enjoy watching us. We definitely appreciate you coming to check it out. Thank you.
For episode 27 of the STS Guys, I am Jeremy.
And this is Larry.
This is Nate.
And I'm Scott.
And have a good night, everyone.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.